Hello, my name is Paul and welcome to my channel, Posture Pilates. So today I'm going to guide you through a short side kick series on the Reformer. If you enjoyed today's video, then please consider subscribing and hitting the like button. If you wish to be notified of future video releases, then tap the bell icon below. It's free of charge. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps us to grow the channel and create more content such as this. Also, if you have any exercises that you would like me to cover, then please leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching and enjoy. Let's start laying on your right side. I'm choosing to perform these exercises with one red spring. However, if this is too strong, it could be done with one blue. The headrest is up, with a thick pillow or block on top. Here, I have removed the back shoulder rest, but this is not completely necessary. Holding onto the front shoulder rest, lower yourself onto your right side. With the top leg resting on the foot bar, adjust your body to be roughly 1.5 hand width from the back of the carriage. Press the carriage out and take hold of the front strap. With your underneath foot resting onto the foot bar, place your top foot into the long strap. Extend both the hip and knee joint to move the carriage outward. The underneath leg is bent to 90 degrees with the foot resting on the frame of the Reformer. Think of pressing the heel towards the foot bar, bringing the pelvis and lumbar spine into a neutral position. Visualize a plumb line from the heel through to the crown of the head. The top hand is resting onto the pelvis, specifically the ASIS, to assess the stability of the pelvis as we perform the exercises. Let's start with the bend and stretch. Maintaining pelvic stability, inhale and flex the hip and knee roughly to 90-degree flexion, maintaining a dorsiflexed ankle. Exhale, extend the hip and knee, returning to the plumb line start position. Inhale, bend, exhale, extend. Maintain neutral spine and pelvis throughout, preventing flexion or extension of the spine. Avoid locking or overextending the knee joint. Perform 6 to 8 repetitions before transitioning to side kick. With the knee extended and toes pointed, inhale, flex the top hip to roughly 60 degrees, avoiding end range stretch. Initiating from the top glute, exhale and extend the hip joint, maintaining lumbar pelvic stability. Inhale, flex the hip, exhale, extend the hip. Avoid lifting or lowering the leg as it passes through range. Aim to rest the cable across the center of the thigh as you extend the hip joint, dependent upon the pelvic size. Once more, perform 6 to 8 repetitions before moving on to lift and lower in external rotation. Maintaining pelvic stability with the leg externally rotated, abduct the top leg with the ankle plantar flexed. Exhale, adduct the leg with the ankle either plantar flexed or dorsiflexed. Inhale, abduct, exhale, adduct. Maintain the leg at a slight forward angle, preventing the pelvis from rolling backwards. Keep the lift through the underneath waistline, avoiding tilting the pelvis to lift the leg higher. And finally, bend and stretch in external rotation. Maintaining the hip joint in external rotation, inhale and flex the hip, knee and ankle to 90 degrees. Keeping a dorsiflexed ankle, exhale and extend the hip and knee. Inhale, flex the hip and knee joint whilst maintaining a lift through the underneath waistline. Exhale, extend. Inhale, flex. As with the previous exercise, maintain the leg at a slight forward angle. Avoid overextending or snapping the knee joint at the end of the range. Once more, perform 6 to 8 repetitions before bending your knee, placing your underneath foot onto the foot bar, retrieving the strap, and with the aid of the front shoulder rest, press yourself up to sitting. Let's perform the whole sequence laying on your left side up to speed. Lower yourself onto your side, bringing the pelvis roughly 1.5 hand width from the back of the carriage. Place the top foot into the long strap. Extend the leg straight, with the heel pressing towards the foot bar. Bring the lumbar spine and pelvis to neutral, creating a plumb line from the heel to the crown of the head. Starting with bend and stretch, inhale, flex the hip and knee to roughly 90 degrees. Exhale, extend the hip and knee, maintaining lumbar pelvic stability. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. Aim to keep the cable in front of the shin, avoiding overflexion of the knee. Perform 6 to 8 repetitions before transitioning to side kick. With the knee joint extended and ankle plantar flexed, inhale and flex the hip joint to roughly 60 degrees. Exhale, extend the hip joint without the lumbar spine or pelvis moving into hyperlordosis. Inhale, flex the hip. Exhale, extend the hip. Aim to pass the cable through the center of the thigh as you extend the hip joint. Moving on to lift and lower in external rotation, inhale, abduct the top leg, lifting the toes towards the ceiling, without imprinting the underneath waistline into the carriage. Exhale, adduct the leg, keeping it slightly pitched forward to maintain pelvic placement. Inhale, abduct, exhale, adduct. And finally, bend and stretch in external rotation. Inhale, flex the hip, knee and ankle. Exhale, extend the hip and knee. Maintain ankle dorsiflexion throughout this exercise. Continue to keep the top hand placed against the ASIS to assess the stability of the pelvis, and the underneath hand placed against the shoulder rest to act as a brace. Take your foot out of the strap and press yourself up to sitting, returning the carriage all the way in. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider liking, sharing and following us.